Hello teacher, my name is Pedro Javier Guerrero. I'm a student of the course Teaching English to Adolescents and Adults. And today I want to show you what was the topic and what was the ideas that I have used to design my lesson plan for the final activity. First of all, I want to say you that I have divided the lesson plan in 4 parts. In the first part, we can find general information like my names, the topic for the lesson plan. In this case is the present perfect. We can find the date. We can find the grade for this lesson, and we can find the mind's eye, the mind objectives, and specific objectives. In the mind objectives, I have write these 2 objectives. The first one is the student learn how to use the present perfect in English, and the second one is the student learn to identify the grammar structure from the present perfect. In the part of the specific objectives, we can read the student use the structure the right way and make a sentence. At the same times, they can participate in a dialogue using the grammatic structure. And finally, the other specific objectives, we have the student learn the phonetics of this grammar structure in order to make a better pronunciation. In the second part, for the lesson plan, we have the information like activity description, resource, times, and source. In the first part, we can find the warm up. In this part, the teacher come into their classroom and speak English, but here he use sentence using the present perfect. Like a resource, the teacher asks to the student if they have any knowledge about the topic. In this first parts, for the development of the class, we are going to spend 5 minutes. That's all, just 5 minutes. Talking about the source, only we can use the teacher workbooks. In the part when we can write the presentation, in this part the teacher make a brief description about the topic and explain why it's important to learn this grammar structure, because it's very important to know how to use this grammar structure. Resource for this part, the teacher used the board to make the explanation, and after that show his student a short videos when explain in a better way how to use the present perfect. In this part, we only use 15 minutes to develop this part of the class. Talking about the resource, we can use the YouTube videos. We can do some exercise when we can see example is in his workbook. In the third parts, for the lesson plan, we can find the practice, production, and assignment. In the part for the practice, in this part, the students develop breathing exercise using the grammar structure and make dialogues with their partners in order to practice the pronunciation. Talking about the resource, the teacher can use the task book. In this page that I have described here is very useful for this resource, because we can find a lot of exercise and information about this topic. For this part, we have to use 20 minutes, and we can use this link to develop the different activity for that topic. Now I want to talk to you about the productions. The production for these topics, here the student write a short story where they have to use at least 5 sentences when they have to use the present perfect. The idea is they can practice a lot of this topic and they can use it in a perfect way. In the part for the resource, we can use the computer, we can use a presentation in PowerPoint, and we have to use notebook. In this part only we are to spend 20 minutes. Also, we can use this direction on internet because we can find interesting information about this topic. Now, talking about the assessment, I can say that the teacher, the idea in this part is check the new knowledge for the students, and here we can make oral or written evaluation from the students to the students. Sorry, we can do a dynamic dialogue between among the students. In the part of the resource, we can use the piece of paper, board, pencil, and the classroom. In this part only we have to use 20 minutes, and in the part of the source we can to use this link when we can develop different exercise using when the student has to use this topic. Okay, this is the final part, the 4 parts. Here we can find the assignment and consolidation of the lesson plan. Talking about the assignment, here the student must bring for the next class the develop in the workbook the activities corresponding to this topic. Obviously here they have to use the workbook. In this part the student can use 30 minutes. Now talking about the consolidations, in this part the student must give to the teacher the video link where they have to record themselves describing any situation in their life, but they have to use the present perfect. They can use the computer and internet for develop this activity. Here they can spend 5 minutes and use the like a source the YouTube channel. In the last chart we can find the observation. In this part you can write any observation, any subjects, or any comments about this topic. Now I want to show you the material that I've used to develop the lesson plan. We have three online resources. In this resource there are a lot of information, a lot of exercise, a lot of activities that the students can use to learn this topic. Here I have another resource that we can use to teach the student how to use the present perfect. Here is the same situation, more resource, and finally we have some exercise that we can to give to the student in order to evaluate if they have they have all the information for this topic. Here we have another kind of exercise to practice for the student and learn better this topic. Okay, teacher, I hope you have enjoyed my video, and see you the next time.